Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB or Chris, and today I think we have some cool stuff for you. We have a new soap which was sent to me by Peter Charkelis of Ariana and Evans, and this is a test soap. I sometimes test soaps for Peter, so yes, it was sent to me for free, so you can take that into consideration. But this is not necessarily the production version of this soap. This is a test of a new base and also a new soap, which is called Kaizen. And Kaizen means essentially constantly improve. So the soap is called Kaizen, and the base, the new base, is also called Kaizen. And that's sort of an interesting concept to call this, to come out with a new soap that is also the name of the base. That's pretty cool, I think. The scent on this, one of the things that I'll tell you right out of the gate is when you get the soap to about right here, you can smell it. And as you can see the distance there, this is a very strongly scented soap, 8.5, maybe 9, very strongly scented and quite sweet. It is reminiscent of Can Pie, I think was the name of that, by Gentleman's Nod, which I tried not too long ago, without the booze. Really nice scent that I like. It's right in my wheelhouse. It's sweet, it's fruity. The notes on it: mandarin, bergamot, lemon peel, cedar, honeysuckle, rose, Haitian vetiver, and cinnamon leaf. And some of those, like the vetiver and the cedar, sort of round it out to where it's not super sweet, but it is sweet. So if you don't like sweet scents, this one, if it comes out in its current incarnation, may not be for you. If you like a burst of sweetness, fruitiness, with some rounding, you may very well like it. I like the label too, but he said he's also going to offer an alternative label. But I think it's pretty cool, and so we're going to try that today, and I look forward to it. I don't know anything about the cost of the ingredients. This is a new soap base, though, so we're going to try it. We're also going to use the RazoRock Switch, and this is an interesting razor. If you have not seen it before, it's called the Switch because you can actually take this handle and put it here and use it as a DE as well. So maybe we'll do that for the last pass or something. I've only used this one time, and one thing I want to get out there is I am not an avid straight razor or shavette shaver. So do not emulate my technique. I am not good at it. I don't plan to use it enough to be good at it, to be honest, unless I like it and I really just take to it. I've used it before, and this one's interesting because it's kind of like a safety razor that you use, this way. And so it's really an interesting concept, and I bought it, so I figure I may as well use it. So we're going to do that. We're going to use the West Coast Shaving Beacon brush. So let's get some water on the face here. I thank everybody for joining the live streams. I really appreciate that. Had a great time. I tell you, it's a really good time right now, despite Corona, in terms of the community. People just going out of their way to be supportive of each other. And it's really a fantastic time. This, again, is the West Coast Shaving Beacon, which is a nice brush. I think it's $20-some. I'm a sucker for blue-handled brushes like this. I just love it. And so this soap, boy, whoo, when you get it on your face, 10 scent strength. It is not, it's not going to be a soap that someone who doesn't like strong scents. It is really stout. Really, really stout. And again, totally unfamiliar with this base because it is new. And so take that into consideration. Okay, let's see what we got. One of the things that concerns me is sometimes I can be sensitive to cinnamon. So we'll see if I get any tingling. A lot of people are not. Sometimes I am. I don't feel any problem with this soap right now. So we'll hope we're not sensitive to it because I really like the scent, and it is super stout. I would call it a 10 now that it's on my face, and my nose is itchy. Has nothing to do with the soap, by the way. It's just itchy. Ooh-wee, what a scent. It's really bright, and this is a soap that is definitely for those of you who like super strong, sweet, fruity, you're probably going to like this. Very, very stout. One of the stronger smelling soaps that I've ever experienced, to be honest with you. And again, We're going to use the switch, and I'm not good at it. So it is a really interesting take, sort of similar to the RazoRock. And we will hope that we do not cut ourselves, but we cannot guarantee it. So if there's bloodshed, I don't know why I'm going that way. I should be going down. See, if I've already messed up from the start. I'm going to trigger David Gonzalez. No, I just want to use it and just sort of enjoy it, you know. That's what it's about for me. Enjoyment. That feels pretty good, actually. The first time I used this, I come away thinking this is sort of a little safer version of a Chevette type razor is the way I felt about it. Now, some people, you know, it's gimmicky. It is. But, you know, I thought it's kind of a cool idea because you have a little bit of protection there with the safety bar, which I think is pretty cool. And again, I'm obviously not a master of Chevette style shaving, and this really isn't a true Chevette. It's like turning a DE like this. Pretty interesting. I hadn't seen it before, so I figured, why not give it a shot? You know, I like to try things. I like to experience things. And I really haven't seen many people use this razor. Have you? If you've seen other people use it below, let me know. I haven't seen it much. It does feel a lot safer. But I tend to think that people who use Chevettes regularly might be irritated by the fact that you don't feel as much blade. You sort of have to rotate it. But it is shaving. I think if you're an avid straight or Chevette shaver, you might poo-poo it and go, you know, I'm not going to use that thing. But I like options. And I feel like anybody who goes out of their way to bring us something new idea, I'm with it. I just went way too up on my beard there. And that's one of the it's one of the reasons David was talking about, if you're going to put these things on video, you know, try to be proficient. And I am not. So I do it anyway, though, because David knows I like variety and I like to use different things. And this actually feels to me, you know, decent. Again, this might be a step towards Chevette shaving or something, you know. I don't know why I'm stretching. I don't really need to. An incremental step, but it's really not, it's not typical Chevette shaving. The thing for me, and as all the straight razor shavers will tell you, you need to use these things a lot to develop the muscle memory and dexterity required. And I don't have it with my left hand, especially. And so, let's see what we can do here. I might even have to use my right to clean that up a little bit. Ideally, I would use my left hand for this side, but it feels awkward. And so, you know, what are you going to do? You got to do what you got to do. But overall, it doesn't feel bad. You just have to sort of rotate it to where it cuts and go with it. And again, do not emulate my technique because I'm not proficient at this style of shaving. This is just a novelty shave for me, just for fun. It's not, I'm not putting on a clinic of technique by any stretch of the imagination. I wanted to try this with the soap too. The soap is very good. Quite slick. And so, if I'm able to use this fairly well, you know, the soap is doing a good job. All right. Very, very, very nice so far. Let's see if we can get this without mangling myself. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad for the first pass. Is it a clinic of Chevette type shaving? Absolutely not. And I freely admit it. And again, I agree with David insofar as, you know, it would be nice if I would use this or a Chevette until I got good at it for a month. But in all reality, I'm not going to do it. just because that's not something I love. But realistically, if you're going to own them and you're going to use them a lot, definitely take the time. It'll be worth it. It'll pay dividends. So that advice, I certainly agree with. The soap on that first pass, I really liked it. It is not burning my face. It is quite strong. Maybe I'm going to make this statement. This might be the strongest scent, or one of the strong. It is definitely among the strongest scented soaps that I've ever experienced. So if you don't like a lot of scent, I'm telling you right now, if this soap stays the same, keep in mind this is the early version, and he might tone it down if he gets. He's looking for feedback. As it is, super stout, and it is not for people who prefer a mildly scented soap. So please keep that in mind. But for me, I love it because I could smell this soap. And I tell you right now, I could, there's another gent, Dave, in the testers group, and he was saying he took the tub off this soap and he could smell it all over the entire restroom. He left it open. Sort of just to scent the bathroom, or maybe he was letting it dry. I don't know, but it is definitely stout. And for me, that is a good thing. Not for everybody, of course. I want to mention a few people here while we're lathering. Jack from the virtual groom room. We had a conversation Friday night that was terrific. We were just talking shop and just getting after it. And he was telling me things about Carve and how they do things. And I was telling him about some of my experiences in soap. And the thing that I like about Jack is he was like, I need to get some more budget soaps because I don't only want to use the pricier stuff. I want, it's important to Jack to grow the community just like us. Now, he's also in the business. So, obviously he wants to grow it. But what content creator doesn't want to grow our hobby too? We want everybody to love this. Jack shares our love for this hobby. And when I meet someone like that or talk to them, I'm in. And so if you have not subscribed to the virtual groom room, there'll be a link below. Go check it out. It is well worth your time. I find also the Razor and Burn podcast, which he's doing with Heather from Zingori. I've really been enjoying it. And I think they're making really nice contributions to the community. And so go check them out. Also, I talked to David Gonzalez for quite a bit Friday. And we had a really nice chat. Let me make sure that's tightened up. Really nice chat. This, by the way, you don't hear much feedback with this razor. Very little. And I've mowed most of it off in that first pass, I think. Feels a little more comfortable to me now. This feels a lot safer than a typical shavette. So maybe if you've wanted to, what I think this could do for you, if you used it, is maybe develop some dexterity. But make no mistake about it, this is not a shavette. And if you use a shavette the way I'm using this one, you will cut yourself. So I feel much safer with this one. I can't do this with a shavette. I have to be far more cautious. One of the things that I'm finding about this though is, even though I've got it screwed down tightly, there's a little bit of wiggle in there on that post. And so that might be off-putting to some because I'm feeling that. And it's making me think the razor is actually loose. But you can feel a little bit of play when it's mounted this way. So keep that in mind, please. It's not actually coming loose because I've been checking it. But it feels like it when I'm bearing down a little more. That's nice. That is nice. There we go. I was supposed to be going this way to begin with. So again, I'm losing track. So anyway, I was talking to David. And we were just talking about everything. And we had a good time. So also, check out David Gonzalez. So Sharp David. His channel. And David just calls it like he sees it, If he doesn't like something, he says so. He's always been that way. That's his thing. That's how he rolls. And I like it. And I hope you will too. So go check him out. He is a very good straight razor shaver. And that is his primary thing, although he likes to use all sorts of gear. So he won't only use that, but that's his primary love, I would say. And that's what really got him into it. And he really likes it. There we go. Tell you one thing, I didn't notice it the first time I used it, but that little bit of play in there, it really makes you feel like that's coming loose, but it's not. And so be aware of that. But it is working. And so far, knock on wood, I'm not cutting myself. And the soap is working really, really nicely. So I'm enjoying it, Peter. I say well done. And I hope that this will be released soon and people will enjoy it. Again, the only people that I would caution is, I should be using my left hand now, by the way, but I'm not. See, there again, I'm not using really what would be traditional technique, although I'm switching to it now. I actually forgot. And that's what happens. And I think that was David's concern, is someone like me picking up this razor, and people will see that I've done many, many videos, and they're like, well, I'm going to do it the way he does it. And I'm telling you, do not do it. You know, because I don't know what I'm doing. Not with this. Now, if it's a DE or single edge razor, I can shave, you know, pretty much in my sleep with it. But this is foreign to me. So do not emulate my technique. I can't say that enough. And when using this razor, I had kept that in mind because I thought David, you know, made some fair points. I don't agree with everything he says all the time. And I want to be encouraging to people who are trying new things. But he makes a point in that if you want to be proficient, and I'm not, you need to, the only way to do it is to work at it regularly. And honestly, I'm not going to do it. I'm doing the opposite of what he recommends. So if he were to call me and say, knock that off, I would say, I'm going to do it anyway, but I would not at all be offended, you know. And I know he wouldn't do that. I'm making a lot out of it in jest, actually, now, because it's, you know, everything is good with that. Again, the soap, I'm thinking it's a really good quality. This base, I think, is quite good. And the idea that you're calling the soap name, the base, that's an excellent idea that I think will be replicated. I don't know if it's been done before. If it has, then I just don't know. But I think this is a really nice soap. I also want to mention Friendship Shaving, Mark, who made a video on Saturday from his bed, and he has had the coronavirus. And he made a video just thanking people for the well wishes and the mentions on the channel. And it was heartening. You know, you could tell he was still struggling. He's not out of the water, but he's doing better. And so I encourage you to go to Mark's channel. And the last video he made was one of my favorite videos of Mark's about menthol. And I've been saying it quite a bit because I really think it's a good video. Give some love in the comments to Mark, if you would, please. And tell him I sent you. And please give him a sub. And I'm asking that if you like shaving content, to please go over and give Jack at the Virtual Groom Room a sub. And give David Gonzalez a sub. You know, I'm mentioning these channels because I want the community to grow. Every single shaver out there has family, friends, and maybe they will bring those people into the fold. And so a rising tide lifts all boats. And that's what I want to do. That's my goal. It's grow this hobby. It is very much still niche and small. And people, I think a lot of times, Jack and I were talking about this. This is still a niche hobby. Most people don't do it. And we need to grow it. And when we grow it, you're going to see more razors at better prices and more artisans. And it's just, I think it'll be great for everybody if we just do what we need to do to grow this hobby. Okay, let's see how we do here. There we go. There's not much in the way of feedback, but I've already shaved most of this area off. I can feel it cutting, however, so there is that. Boy, can you hear that? That I do not like. And it is tight. Well, now it's tight. What do you know? It was loose. So I've learned something here. I guess it untightened. I've really torqued it down now and it's not there. So it was loose. So I made a mistake. Hey, look, people make mistakes. Was blaming the razor and it was on the user. And that's why you need to continue to experiment and use something until you learn it. I think Douglas from PAA says, learn it before you burn it. And so there I was going, there's play in there. Well, now there's not. And so that's pretty awesome. And I hope that I'm doing a decent job here with the shave. I know it's taken a little more time because I don't shave in this style, so it's a longer video. But it's Sunday. I hope you guys will stick around and watch. This way feels a little weird to me, this orientation. But we'll make it work. There we go. I can hear just a little bit of feedback, slight. Not much in the way of whiskers left there. We're working on it. I think what happens is that thing might loosen itself up if you're not careful. So anyway, much better now that it's not making that noise, which I do not appreciate, and have that feeling of it loosening up on me. All right. I think when I was shaking it, trying to clear the blade, it was loosening up on me. So be cognizant of that if you try this razor. I believe it's still for sale at Italian Barber. Again, the soap, the fact that I'm taking so long and it's not dissipating, it's maintaining slickness despite the fact that I don't put a lot of moisture in my lather, says a lot about the quality of the soap. It is a winning soap formula for me. Very slick, good residual slickness. That feels fantastic. I like it. Very, very nice. And so it's doing what I ask it to do for my style of shaving, which again is not this style, but it's working. And so I've managed so far, I'm probably jinxing myself, not to cut myself. So we'll go with it. There we go. We've gotten almost all the whiskers. There's not much left. A little bit there. There we go. Not too bad, actually. Not too bad. For 100% novice, I would say not too bad. There we go. There's a little bit left over there. I guess we'll see how we did once this is over. Let me rinse. We'll feel around on the face and see how we did. Stay tuned. And in comes the Lancaster Brushworks towel. I think we did pretty good. I don't think we got any weepers, creepers, cuts, or irritation. Nicks, cuts, weepers, creepers, irritation, and that is my standard. If I do that, I'm very happy with it. How did we do? Yes. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with that shave. The technique is not good, but you know, considering the fact that it's a sort of shavette oriented or style, I'm calling it pretty good. Again, do not emulate my technique. I am not proficient. I don't plan to be, quite frankly. But that was a good shave, and make sure you tighten this thing down. Tighten it more than you would tighten a normal DE. It is aluminum, by the way. Feels a little safer to me than a shavette because of that safety bar. So it's like, to me, a shavette on training wheels, let's say. Now, some people probably won't like that idea. And also, the reason they call it the switch, I want to show you. When you remove this cap here from the bottom, you can actually put this razor in the safety razor orientation as well. Like so. And then you put the cap back on here. And so it's an interesting idea, and that's why it's called the switch, because you can actually use it as a safety razor as well. And I think it's a neat idea. It's gimmicky, but overall, I think it's a neat idea. Okay. The Ariana and Evans Kaizen. New formula, new soap. Big thumbs up. The formula, it did a great job, even though it was taking a long time, held enough moisture for me to, use a straight style, Shavette style razor. I love the artwork. I love the soap. This is a winner for me, a winning scent, very strong. I think people are going to like it. The only people that I would caution maybe is if you don't like very bright, a little citrusy, quite sweet, this probably is not for you. But for everyone else, I think that's going to be good. The consistency of this is excellent. And again, you can't see it because on my camera, I locked the focus, so it won't focus on this. Excellent slickness there, which is what honestly, that's what you would expect from a Peter Charkelis soap at this point, because he's been doing it long enough to become very proficient at it. And he makes a really good quality soap. Sneaky Pete strikes again. Who would have thought? Okay, the brush was West Coast Shaving Beacon. And we're going to finish off with some Old School Club, also a Sneaky Pete production. This is Tobacco Nuit. And it doesn't smell anything like the soap, but it's Sneaky Pete. So I'm going to use Sneaky Pete today. Feels good. Smells good. I think this might have been made by Maria Arman of Through the Fine Craft, long name. It's nice. We're going to go for another round. As you know, Peter loves tobacco. Wow, that smells nice. I don't know if this is still sold by the club, but if you like tobacco fragrances, he used to have like a kit. You got there were 2 soaps and I think 2 aftershaves. This is a really nice tobacco. I only have a few tobacco scented aftershaves. This is a good one. Sorry for the length of the video. It was bound to happen with me using a straight type razor. I call it Shavette on training wheels. But we got a good shave, and there you have it. Again, don't emulate my technique. I want to make sure that you understand that. Thanks so much to everybody who joined the live. Much appreciated. Thanks for joining this one. Thanks for all your comments, your kind words, your support. I couldn't do it without you. Until next time, I want to remind you, it's your shave, do it your way, and of course, God bless.